So the first part of this series is going to be called The End of an Age. And the end of an age that is going to be the end of Esau's age. Because right now, in time, right now, as far as prophecy is concerned, we're at the end times, and this end times right now is Esau's end time. So he's ruling at this time, and he's about to go down. So we're gonna go into this lesson, and I'll show you, brothers, you know, blow by blow, so to speak, of events that will take place that will bring the end of this man's kingdom, and will bring in Yahweh Shai's kingdom, which will be our kingdom also, because we're joint heirs with him. So I hope this is edifying to the brother that asked the question, and to other brothers that have similar questions to this brother's question. So with that, I'll say Shalom.
Barak Yahweh.
Barak Yahweh.
Barak Yahweh Shai.
Barak Yahweh Shai.
All right. Today's lesson is going to be based off of a brother's letter, that he sent to me, or he sent to us. He had a series of questions that he was asking, and it's not going to be able to be like just done in one sit down, because the brother has a lot of good questions, and it's basically based off of a chronological history of prophecy, and things that are going to take place, all the way up into the kingdom, so it's going to be like a series of things. So what we're going to do is we're going to read the letter, then we're going to get right into it, and it's going to be like a 10-part series. We already mapped it out. It's going to be like a 10-part series, Lord's will, and it's going to be short, Lord's will, 20 minutes each, no longer than half hour, Lord's will, depending on the spirit. And we're just going to break it down so the brother can get a better understanding. And I guess for some of you other brothers out there that may have had some of the same questions, so y'all brothers can get it also. So we're just going to start off with the letter. So go ahead, Elder Matzah.
Okay, Shalom. Question. Shalom, Elder Ramla. This is so-and-so from so-and-so. I wanted to know, if possible, can you brothers do a lesson on the transition period of the kingdom? By transition, I mean all the things that will take place after we are delivered by the chariots. Like how we will go into a place in the universe Yahweh Shai has prepared for us after America gets destroyed. Yahweh Shai and the angels fighting NATO. The Lord destroying those Russians, like it says in Ezekiel 38 and 39. Us gathering the rest of the elect and killing the 2/3 in the wilderness, finding the elites of Esau and taking them out of their space stations and underground cities and mountain retreats and putting them in slavery. The kingdom of Israel being built up, etc. I know these things will take place, but I want to get a better understanding of the time period. I know you brothers are busy in Salakia. Give me 1 second.
So as you can see, it's not just a one point, or one question thing. So it's like a series of different questions, kind of pretty much based around the same topic, So we're gonna go through it step by step, and break it down step by step. You got that?
Yep.
All right. So we're gonna continue on with the letter.
No, that's the wrong one.
Okay. Yeah, so that's basically the bottom line. We're gonna try to go through each question and pull it out, section by section, to break it down so you can get a better understanding.
Right, Khan. Then he says, I know you brothers are busy and everything is according to the spirit, so if you can do the lesson, can you explain some of these things to me? I will really be grateful and appreciative. How about Shemi Al-Shai Barakatah?
All right. So the whole name of the lesson is going to be called Chronological Events and Prophecy, End of Esau's Age, Beginning of Yahweh Shai's Kingdom. All right, that's going to pretty much be the topic, but there's going to be like subtopics within it, which are going to be done by parts. Now the first part we're going to deal with, which is part 1, is going to be the end of an age. Because in order for you to really fully understand what's taking place now and really fully understand what's going to take place in the future, you have to understand that there are certain time periods that are given to certain men and certain people in the world to rule, which are called ages. You know, and you have different types of ages. You know, you have the age of Aquarius, the age of Cancer, the age of Pisces, which are approximately 2,150 years, or some to that effect. Then you also have ages as far as kingdoms are concerned, uninterrupted rules. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to start off in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, the first verse. We're going to read down to the 3rd verse and then go into it and explain to you what age are we coming to the end of. And you're going to find out that it's Esau's age. So go ahead.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
Right, so the disciples wanted to know when is going to be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world. You know, like you have guys out there that don't want to know the end of the world. You know, they talking about there might be another 20, 30, 40 years in the future. The disciples wanted to know when the end of the world was. Why? Because they knew that once the end of the world came, which they understood was the end of an age, then the beginning of Yahushua's kingdom, which we're joint heirs with him, will begin. So now what I want to do real quick, I'm going to look up this word, world, in the Blue Letter Bible, and you're going to find out that word world goes back to the Greek word eon. Now you have different types of worlds. You have the cosmos, which is an organization. You have eon, which is an age, uninterrupted rule. You have oikumene, which is the whole entire inhabited earth. You know, you have different types of world. So in Matthew 24:3, the world there that they were speaking to the Lord about was the end of an age, which is eon. And it says, eon, forever, an unbroken age, perpetuity of time, eternity, the world, universe, period of time, age. And that's what it means. It means period of time, age, or it goes into what's known as an uninterrupted rule. Now, what is that uninterrupted rule that they were speaking about back then? They were speaking about the Roman Empire, because the Roman Empire was that age or that rulership that was in control at that time.
Yep.
And in order for the kingdom of the Lord to be established, all kingdoms have to be put down. And the Roman Empire was one of the main ones back then that had to be put down. All right? Matter of fact, read on.
Right, it says...
And if you have any points along the way, you feel free to jump in.
Come. It says,
read down from 4 to 8.
No problem. It says, And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And if I may say real quick on that, you see that happening today. You got all these different wars, rumors of war happening, and actually little wars and skirmishes taking place. But like the Elder Tahar said, like the thing with Syria was happening, he said, look, don't think that this thing is just going to be over just now. So the end ain't coming right now. Because that's what Yahushua said. He said, even though you're going to have all these things, which are the signs and the build-up to the end of this world, but there's still a few more prophecies that got to play out.
Yep.
Such as the microchip, which is one of the biggest prophecies, which they're already fighting which way they're going to make it mandatory. They already got laws on the books for it, so they are going to pass that microchip. All right.
The war with Iran.
The war with Iran, and that's always been on the back burner. So there's a couple more things that happen, but not that it's going to be 30, 40 years from now. No, we're in this time. Yahushua said this generation should not pass.
That's right.
Until all these things be fulfilled.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, because overnight, things could just change. You know, 9/11 proved that. You know, overnight everything just changed. So all they gotta do is make the right moves, and then the Lord make His moves. You know. Okay.
Right. It says, verse 7: For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows.
Right. It says all these are the beginning of sorrows. So when you see these things happening, then you know that the end of the age, of the so-called white man's age, which is Esau, then you know that that's coming. Then you know that that's when this place is going to be brought down. When you start seeing all these things, that's when you're supposed to get happy about what's happening. Why? Because that's letting you know that the time is drawing near for our deliverance, for Yahweh kingdom, for our kingdom. Go from there to Luke 21 and 25 down to 28. You know, so these are the things we're supposed to be looking for. We're not supposed to be sitting here talking about, you know, what we're going to do the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. We're supposed to be hastening for this place to go down. Then in the kingdom we could have a good time, you know, and be able to do the things that we can't do here in this society. That's when it's time to let your hair down, so to speak.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's because we're in war.
Right.
The scriptures tell you, no man, in Timothy's,
no man that warreth entangleth himself with the
affairs of this world.
That's right.
So such as having a good time, you know, family day.
Yep.
Enjoying your kids, making sure you're there. You ain't got no time to be playing Nerf football with your kids. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of you brothers might have that time. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
but on a whole,
yeah.
But overall, in other words, we don't got time to sit here and enjoy your kids.
Right.
You know, it's like you might sit there and see your kids, but it's as if you don't see them.
That's right.
Like maybe once out of a month, you might get some time to, maybe a couple hours to hang out with you if you have kids or whatever.
Right.
You know, but it's even that, it's almost like you're never there. Because why? We at war right now, man. We got a lot of work to do, building up this nation, man.
Yep.
Teaching His word, bringing out this word, prophesying about the destruction that's coming, man.
Yeah, and
you know?
the Apostle Paul said it best. You know, he said the time is short. You know,
Right.
so you're not going to have time to enjoy. That's what Yahweh said, he that loveth father or mother or wife or children or whatever more than me is not worthy of me.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, because you're not going to have time to do all those things. I mean, you know, we're not saying that you're never going to, you know, be able to see your children and, you know, have time with them. But
Right.
it's going to be a point where, because in this society, they teach you every Thursday is family day, you know, and you got to take time out to spend with your kids, you know, and no matter what's going on, you got to drop everything and just, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, you gotta go to PTA meetings.
Yeah, you got to go to your son's meeting or your daughter's meeting at school, which was, that's totally off. But you're not going to have time for that. So go ahead.
Right. Luke chapter 21, verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring.
You see that happening right now. You know, you see signs in the moon and the sun. You see solar eclipses, lunar eclipses. You know, you have, what is it? Distress of nations. You see all these different riots that are going on around the world.
Yeah.
You see all these different terrorist acts that are taking place. All these different protests around the world of these people protesting about their finances or their way of living. You know, and then it says the sea and the waves roaring. Now you see down there in Colorado what's happening in Colorado. Damn near Colorado's flooded, man. You know, a lot of the major highways are shut down. You know, I mean, I don't know if they got them back going now, but that's going to take a while for them to get that thing back in order. And there's many things that are happening all around the world similar to that. So that's what the scriptures say, that when you see these things, the uproars of the people, then you know that that's the time when the Lord is coming to visit the world which He created.
Yep.
And what does it mean by visited? They're going to be visited by storms. They're going to be visited by destruction. They're going to be visited by fires. They're going to be visited by famines. They're going to be visited by earthquakes, tsunamis, you know, terrorist acts, outbreaks of pestilence. You know, you're going to have riots, race wars, you know, all of that stuff. So by the time Yahweh comes, there's going to be nothing but total chaos out here, man. Yeah, brother.
Right, come. It says 26. Men's heart failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
Right, because there's going to come a point where these devils are not going to know what to do. See, now they're manipulating certain things. Now they're manipulating these terrorist attacks, these terrorist acts, these so-called false flags, as they call them. But there's going to come a point where the Lord is going to step in. He's going to start doing his thing. And they're not going to be able to stop it. They're not going to have any power over it. So they're going to be shaken. Because why? Because they're not going to have the power to control these things anymore. Because the Lord is going to take it into his own hands. Go ahead.
That's right. It says, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory.
And that's the chariots. You're going to see that Yahweh Shai coming in the clouds with the angels, which are the chariots. And that's when you know we're in that time right now. We're in that time right now. Where we're going to start seeing that. You're going to start seeing more sightings of so-called UFO sightings. Why? Because those are part of the signs of the end of this age. Go ahead.
Yep. It says, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.
Right. Lift up your head, for your redemption draweth nigh. Don't be talking about we might be here another 20, 30, 40 years. You're supposed to lift up your head because we're looking to get out of here. We're not looking to be here no 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, man. Are you crazy? The way things are going, the way the rampant homosexual shit that's going on in this world. You see young men out here, you know, in their teens, walking like a bunch of faggots, man.
Yeah, they are faggots. They,
you know?
Yeah, they dress like faggots. They talk like faggots. They got a high estrogen count.
That's right.
You know, so it is. Basically, this is a faggot world, man.
Right. It's a Sodom and Gomorrah.
It's Sodom and Gomorrah to the max.
Yep.
It's almost it's to the point where straight men gonna have to be in the cloud, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be a crime to be straight, man. Everybody's a fucking faggot now. All your rulers, senators, you know, the people that's in power, they're all faggots and lesbians and
freaks,
dykes and freaks.
You know, hey, the scripture say, as a ruler of a country is, or a people, that's how the people are gonna be.
Yeah.
You know, so they pushing that faggot agenda heavy, man.
So that's why I'm not sure if he's gonna go back to it, but in the 24th chapter back in Matthew's, the Lord Yahweh Shai, he said, look, he said he has to cut that time short.
That'll
that's
come a little later.
Okay.
No, but you know what?
I wasn't
matter
sure.
Matter of fact, let's read this next scripture and then we can bring that out.
Okay.
Read 1 Peter 1 verses 7 to 12, and then we'll go back and we'll read that Matthew 24.
Okay, no problem. Now, this is the book of 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 7. That the trial.
Matter of fact, start at 6. Yeah.
Okay. Verse 6. It says, wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptations.
And you brothers are seeing that, man. You know, because you brothers, you know, you've been in it for a little while now. You know, some of you 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and you're starting to be tempted now. You're starting to feel that bitterness.
Yeah.
Some guys don't like it, they leave, but some of you brothers are starting to really get that bitterness in you, you know, and you're really starting to understand the bitter part of this truth, you know. So now you're being tried, and we're in, brother. That the scripture says we're in manifold temptations, and we're in heaviness, you know. But that's part we know about it because it's in the scriptures. We were told about it, and we told you, brother, you were gonna go through these things.
Yeah.
You know. So the Lord had us tell you that.
Yeah, none of you brothers could say you weren't warned, man.
That's right.
The elders constantly warned you brothers, man. You know, we all warned you brothers what you were getting into, man.
That's
we
right.
told you it wasn't gonna be no easy road. So all that bitching goes out the window.
That's right.
You know, and then if you're not catching hell, then chances are you're not a man of the Lord.
Right, because you're not being purified.
You're not being purified.
Purged.
You're not being purged. Yahweh Shai said you gotta bear your cross.
That's right.
You know?
Or if you don't bear your cross, you can't be his disciple.
You're not worthy to be his disciple.
That's right.
So if that's why I said you can come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation.
That's right.
Because you got to catch that hell, and you got to still keep your patience.
That's it. And
you
your
know?
patience possesses your soul.
You got to still keep your patience. So, because why? I mean, like I said, though it be for a season, meaning it's for a little while. Sometimes it seems like forever. Sometimes you might be like, damn, when is this thing going to happen, man? When is the Lord? But the Most High is perfect, as we all know.
That's right.
Brother, this is only a season. This is small. That's why I said our light affliction, which is but for a moment, cannot measure up to the riches.
Yep.
You know, I'm not.
The glory
the
glory that
that
shall be revealed after.
You know, when we get out of here, when Lord willing, which we're gonna get through in the next topics, when we in the Lord actually peradventure with a part of the elect, because through hope we're saved.
That's right.
Hoping that we're the elect.
That's right.
And when we get on those chariots, man, that's glory, man.
Yep.
You know, then it's gonna come to pass that true saying, death wears thy sting.
Yep.
You know.
That's right.
When we're in those chariots, man, we ain't gonna have to worry about being in this flesh no more, man. Catching hell.
Yep. Getting sick,
Getting
dying,
sick.
none of that.
That's gonna be that. It's gonna be the end of that age.
That's right. And this devil got to go down. Esau.
Yep.
All right. So go ahead. Continue.
All right. So it says that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yahweh Shai, whom having not seen ye love, in whom though now ye see him not, yet believing ye rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls.
So how do you receive salvation? At the end of your faith. And what's the end of your faith? Meaning at the end of this age. That's when you receive the glory. That's when you receive the reward. Go ahead.
Of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you, searching what manner of time the Spirit of Yahweh Shai, which was in them, did signify, when it testified beforehand the sufferings of Yahweh Shai and the glory that should follow.
Right, because they knew that once Yahweh Shai suffered and went back to the Father, then the kingdom was going to come and be established. So they wanted to know what time was this going to be. When is the Messiah going to come? When is he going to suffer? So that we can see the end of this world and we can get to the kingdom, get to the beginning of the next one, which is the kingdom. So that's what they were looking for back then. So if you guys are not looking for that today, then you're wasting your time. You're not a true prophet. The true prophets are always looking for the end of a society.
Yep.
You know, when you go back to during the time of Egypt, what was the end of that? The end of Egypt was the Lord destroyed Pharaoh and his armies, and not just his armies, his top valiant military men. It wasn't just any regular Egyptian. You got to remember that those Egyptian army that got drowned, those were expert men.
The top on the earth.
Yeah,
at the time.
the top warriors among the Egyptians, man. And the Lord destroyed Pharaoh and them.
Yep.
You know. Then you go up the Assyrian captivity. They got destroyed. The Babylonians, they were in their power and they got destroyed. All for what? For Israel to be delivered. The Medo-Persians, they came up. They were destroyed. The Greeks, the Romans, they came up into power and they were destroyed. And what happened at the destruction? Israel was delivered from their hands. Now, during the time of the Roman Empire, Israel really got jacked up because that was prophecy.
Yep.
You know? And that's the only reason why they got jacked up, because of prophecy. So now we're at the end of the last final leg of the Roman Empire, Esau's kingdom. And once he goes down, we're going to be redeemed. All right? And that's what the scriptures mean, you know, when it speaks about the end of an age. You know, meaning the end of this man's rulership and the beginning of the one that follows, which is our rulership, which is through is Yahweh Shai's rulership, and we're joint heirs with him. All right? You had something real quick? If you could finish that verse 12.
Yep, no problem.
1 Peter 1, and just finish that 12th verse real quick.
Yep. It says, unto whom it was revealed that not unto themselves, but unto us they did minister the things which are now reported unto you by them that have preached the gospel unto you with the Holy Spirit sent down from heaven, which things the angels desire to look into.
Right. So now let's go from there to the Apocrypha. I mean, if you got something to bring
No.
out. Second Ezra's
6.
Yep, 6. Yep.
All right.
6. It started at verse 6.
All right. Second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 6. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone and through none other. By me also they shall be ended.
Right, because the Lord is the one that's going to end it.
Right. The so-called white man can't end this thing.
Right.
You know?
And he can't go further than what the Lord
He can't
allowed.
go further than what the Lord allowed. Slavery. You got a lot of niggas talk about they're going to end slavery or whatever. They're going to try to get into this, take up arms and this and that. That's why we never taught brothers to take up arms against this man.
Right.
First of all, the scriptures, the Lord said, "Wait ye upon me."
That's right.
So I rise up to the prey. So the Lord is going to take this devil out, but we got to wait for the Lord. Bottom line,
That's right.
because the Most High said He's the one who started it, and He's going to be the one that's going to end it, man.
That's right.
All right. So now it says, "Then answered I, and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him. Jacob's hand held first the hill of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth."
So the end of this age started back when Esau was and Jacob were first born. That was the beginning of it. Then during the time of Ezra, that was in the midst of it.
Yep.
Now we're at the very end. Go ahead. It's gonna tell you that. Go
Right.
ahead. Verse 10.
It says, "The hand of man is betwixt the hill and the hand."
Why? Because whose heel? Esau's heel. And whose hand? Jacob's hand. So Esau at that time, they were above us. They were in power, which they still are to this day.
Yeah.
You know, but then we're at the time now where Jacob's hand, which is us, the Israelites, are going to pull Esau down through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
Yep. It says, "The hand of man is betwixt the hill and the hand. Other questions, Ezra, asked thou not."
Right. So now that's letting you know that, like part one is called the end of an age. The end of whose age? The end of Esau's age. In order for these prophecies to move forward, everything has to line up and everything has to have its proper order. So now once this devil goes down, which is the Esau at the end of the world, then we can get back into power, beginning with Yahweh Shai, and we joint heirs with him. So, you know, this concludes the end of part one. Well, stay tuned for part two. Shalom.